Good evening. Welcome to the world this week. In Pakistan, the rout of Benazir's PPP continues in the provincial elections. The winner and next Prime Minister is Nawaz Sharif, whose main contender gives up without a murmur. We have a special report on the tragic story of famine and war in Ethiopia. The fight is on to preserve the pristine beauty of Antarctica, the last great unspoiled wilderness of the world. And from around the world, the best sporting action of the week. Caretaker Prime Minister Ghulam Mustafa Jatoi gives up the fight to be Prime Minister to Pakistan's man of steel Nawaz Sharif. Yesterday, Nawaz Sharif was elected leader of the largest alliance in Parliament, the Islami Jamhuri Ittihad, which makes his election as Prime Minister a foregone conclusion. In doing so, Pakistan breaks a tradition and has an elected Prime Minister from Punjab rather than Singh. A further confirmation of the election trends which demonstrated the rise of Punjabi nationalism in Pakistan. The choice was inevitable. The Islami Jamhuri Ittihad had no option but to elect as their leader the man who had trounced Benazir Bhutto in both the national and the provincial elections. For the 41-year-old strongman of Punjab, it had become a battle that was as much personal as political. And in the campaign, Nawaz Sharif took his long-standing and bitter personal rivalry with Benazir to the streets, and he won.
वो कहती है मैं एक औरत हूँ और ये सब मेरे पीछे पड़ गए। हमें कहती है गीदड़ है गीदड़। भाई आप फैसला करो, मैं गीदड़ हूँ। मैं देखने में तो इंसान लगता हूँ, गीदड़ तो नहीं लगता ना मैं। ये गीदड़ कहती है हमें और फिर कहती मेरे पीछे सब पड़ गए हाथ धोकर। मेरे दोस्तों, ये तो पाकिस्तान की सख्त तरीन दुश्मन है। आप किसके चक्कर में पड़ गए हो सब लोग? खुदा के लिए कुछ अपनी आंखें खोलो। ये पाकिस्तान को बर्बाद करने वाली पार्टी है। और आज नवाज शरीफ ने इस पार्टी के साथ क्यों नहीं हाथ मिलाया? इसलिए कि नवाज शरीफ जानता था कि बेनज़ीर का खानदान इक़्तिदार की खातिर उसने पाकिस्तान को तोड़ा है, तो नवाज शरीफ कैसे पाकिस्तान के तोड़ने वालों के साथ हाथ मिला सकता है? बोलो, मैंने सही कहा या गलत? मैंने ठीक किया या गलत किया? मैंने अगर इनके साथ हाथ नहीं मिलाया तो ठीक किया?
It was no less than a rout for Benazir Bhutto's Pakistan People's Party. After its stunning defeat in the national elections, the PPP suffered the same fate in the provincial assembly polls this week. Benazir still refuses to accept the results.
But I had said before, I don't understand, I can't see Mr. Isaaq ringing me up and saying, congratulations, you won. I said, but at the same time, I see so much support for us that short of running off with the ballot boxes, there is nothing they can do to stem the popular tide for the PDA and for democratic Pakistan. And that's exactly what they did. They ran off with the ballot box.
Even in Sindh, Benazir's traditional stronghold, the PPP was reduced from its previously dominant position to less than a majority. However, it's still the largest single party with 47 out of the 100 seats. The IJI and MQM combined won 33 seats. In neighbouring Baluchistan, the PPP won only 2 seats out of the 40 in the provincial assembly, while the IJI and JWP won 16. In the northwest frontier province, the PPP got only 6 out of the 79 seats, with the IJI and the Awami National Party winning a clear majority of 53 seats. But it was in Punjab, Nawaz Sharif's territory, that the IJI victory was most decisive. The PPP was reduced to a minor party with only 10 out of the 240 seats. The IJI made a clean sweep with 208 seats, almost double its tally in 1988. The sharp increase in the IJI hold of Punjab reflects the growth of Punjabi nationalism, which appears to be personified in Nawaz Sharif. When he is elected Prime Minister in the National Assembly, he'll be the first Punjabi Prime Minister that Pakistan has ever had. Nawaz Sharif's family is among the 20 wealthiest families in the country. thanks largely to his efforts in building up his father's steel business. But Sharif is called Punjab's man of steel for other reasons as well. His personal style is aggressive and confrontationist.
आपको आपके वोटिंग स्लिपें मिल चुकी है या नहीं मिली है? अगर नहीं मिली तो मैं अपने तमाम कारकुन हज़रात से भाई बात सुना तारिक कोई नारा लगा बस करो। उन्होंने फिर ये बाइकाट करना है। हाँ बाइकाट का फैसला करना है। भाई तारिक भाई क्या करते हो? भाई तुम नारे लगा लो, मैं बात खत्म कर देता हूँ।
Sharif is backed not only by the army but by the powerful Muslim clergy as well. And with him at the controls, Pakistan is expected to go into a conservative spiral and may even introduce the Sharia law, which Nawaz Sharif has consistently advocated. On India, Sharif adopted a belligerent stand during the election campaign. But after his victory, he was more placatory when he talked to Tavleen Singh last week.
And I respect India's sovereignty because I am a peace-loving citizen of Pakistan. I feel that every other state's sovereignty must be respected. But as far as our relationship with India is concerned, I attach a lot of importance to that. And I think we can live peacefully with each other. There are certain conflicts, certain problems which need to be resolved, and I think only by mutual dialogue at the level of the leaders can be resolved. I don't see any difficulty in at least sitting and talking about those issues.
Pakistan's new Prime Minister will face a wide array of problems. Quite apart from critical economic difficulties, Sharif will also have to contend with sour relations with Washington, Islamabad's main source of economic and military aid. When the United States cut off aid in early October because it could no longer certify that Pakistan did not possess a nuclear weapon, many Pakistanis saw this as interference. In fact, Sharif spearheaded an official media campaign against the US decision. But as Prime Minister, election rhetoric will have to be replaced by diplomacy, and he will have to find ways to smoothen Pakistan's ties with the United States.
This has happened earlier also, and we should not be too concerned about what has happened now. It is something I think which we can certainly discuss with the Americans, but they also have their own laws and own regulations which they have to abide by.
But do you see it as unfair pressure that it should have come just before the election?
Well, I think the Pakistanis feel so, that this was not the appropriate time, that the Americans should have taken such a decision. But I think if it is a pressure tactic, we feel that this is a matter which is an internal matter of Pakistan, and we feel that no other outsider should be allowed to interfere in the internal matters of Pakistan.
At home, trouble for Sharif could come from Singh. The emergence of Punjabi nationalism and a Prime Minister from Punjab could ignite a reaction from Sindh. Militant Sindhi nationalist groups have already warned of widespread violence. But Nawaz Sharif's carefully constructed alliance with the MQM, the major party of urban Sindh, may be crucially important in the centre's future relationship with the volatile Sindh region. Nawaz Sharif has been described as anything but intellectual. He's a man with few self-doubts, and he's likely to try and solve Pakistan's problems with an iron hand.